Numbers. You either like them or you don't. And I'm really surprised by the number of women in business that are afraid of their numbers when it comes to their finances. But you need to know your numbers because knowledge is power. Now, if you've been overwhelmed by the thought of creating and maintaining a bookkeeping system, then this episode is just what you need. Today I'm chatting with Stacey Isetta, the owner of the small business BFF. Stacey loves numbers, and after leaving her corporate job where she handled millions of dollars successfully, she found herself struggling to handle smaller amounts of money in the construction business that her and her husband started. But once she got a bookkeeping system in place, things changed for the better. And she shares some details about that system, which she calls the BFF Blueprint, during our chat. So let's dive into episode 53 so you can get the details and learn how to create a simple bookkeeping system on your own. Welcome back to the More Than Capable Mompreneur podcast. I'm Shannon Baker, a coffee-loving mompreneur that started as a virtual assistant and turned into a total systems geek. And I want to help you shift your mindset and embrace your worthiness while creating systems in your business so you can be more productive and build success on your own terms without the mom guilt. Are you loving that? Well, I hope you're ready for real conversations that will help you beat the perfectionist inside, rediscover your strengths, and up-level your self-love in the mom cracks of time so you can stop letting fear hold you back because you are enough and you do enough. We are more than capable mompreneurs. So grab your cup of coffee, some sparkling water, or pour a glass of your favorite wine and let's dive in. Thank you for joining us today. I'm so excited because I'm going to be having a chat with Stacey Isetta of the Small Business BFF. So before we dive into today's topic, which we're going to be talking about having a positive money mindset, knowing your numbers, and she's going to share some basic bookkeeping system tips with us today. But before we dive into that, Stacey, please explain to us what the BFF stands for, and then tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey.
Hi, Shannon. Thank you so much for including me in your world today. BFF stands for Best Financial Friend. And my goal is to help women entrepreneurs really step up in their financial literacy, both at their business and in home. So I kind of talk a little bit about the combination of the two because there is nothing more important than home and family to me. And my business is always going to be aligned and fuel all the things we want to do at home. So they are inseparable in my book. And so I'm your BFF. I'm your best financial friend, helping any woman who wants to become a little bit more confident in knowing their numbers, remove the fear from them. And today we're going to talk about bookkeeping, which is extremely dry and boring, but is one of the foundational pieces that will really move the needle in your business.
Yes, and I've been really excited about this conversation because we were chatting before we started recording, and I mentioned one of the 6 core systems that I emphasize for small business owners, whether you're just starting or have been in business and have been operating by the seat of your pants, you have to have a money management system. So this is like geek talk or, happy time for me because I love this subject. So tell us, how did you get into this specific zone? Because this is not where you started your journey as an entrepreneur.
Well, in a sense, I went to school. I'm a numbers person. I love numbers. I think numbers tell a story. I think of them as another language. So it's my second language. I graduated college with business degree, economics minor, honors in finance, and I went right into the wine industry. I live in Northern California, which is the heart of wine industry. And so as a financial analyst, I worked with overseeing $7 million line of credit on a daily basis. But when I stepped away from that position, when I started having children, I went from knowing how to run a multi-billion-dollar business into trying to run my family and soon thereafter a family business, and failed miserably because I couldn't bring the same type of systems into a smaller value of a number. I was overwhelmed with thinking I can handle lots of money, but I can't handle small amounts of money. And in 2008, when the housing market crashed and the economy here, especially in California for construction, crashed, we found our family over leveraged with 2 mortgages, the IRS having a lien on our income because of some mistakes we had made with payroll tax, and a huge credit card debt. So finding ourselves in tremendous amount of trouble financially, we figured out very quickly how to remove ourselves from the debt situation. We were able to increase our revenue. I put systems in place that I teach now, which I call the BFF blueprint. And now our family is in fantastic financial shape. We have a solid foundation, and my children now in college years, late high school years, we're able to send them to schools, no debt. Our retirement funds are getting loaded, which is something entrepreneurs never think about doing. And I'm really hopeful for the future of my family. With that said, I want to teach everyone else how to do this stuff so that they can have those foundational pieces put in place and grow with confidence inside their financial lives.
So you definitely had a huge shift in your mindset about money. So when someone comes to you to work with you, like I know part of your process is that mindset piece. So
Mm-hmm.
what tips would you give? Because I talk to a lot of business owners and they're just afraid of the numbers. So how can they change their mindset about money?
Well, money is a very emotional driver. So and money is just an amplifier too. So if you are a jerk, you're always going to be a jerk, and you're going to be a bigger jerk with more money. Or if you're a very loving, joyful, giving person, you're going to be even more of that if you have more money. And money is a tool. So we have to just remove ourselves from the emotional aspect of money. Money is a tool, it's an amplifier, it's something that's going to provide for you. It's something that's going to allow you to be a better person and give more. And it's going to allow more opportunities. We all have to do the work. We have to look at why money triggers these emotions. A lot of it comes from our childhood and the way our families dealt with money. Not having money can be very quickly changed in just a matter of weeks or months, and you can have money. But again, money is a tool, and it shouldn't be the all of everything. I really believe we have to look at our internal worth and where we sit with God and our families and our communities, and be content with what we do have and find the blessings in what we do have. Money is just energy. It's an amplifier. It's a tool. It's not an emotional state.
And I love that. I mean, because of course, part of my core values is alignment, which I know that's part of your core values as well, because our businesses need to align with what we value or what's most important to us. So definitely thank you for sharing that piece with us. So now let's dive into the deep part of today's topic, which are those bookkeeping systems or the pieces that you need in that bookkeeping system. And I know you have a great download, and I'm going to drop a link to that in the show notes, but just walk everyone through some basic things that they should do for their bookkeeping. And now is a great time for everyone to start using these tips because we know also tax time is coming. So hit the pause button, grab a pen and some paper and write these tips down. So
so go ahead and grab the freebie, which is on my website, the Small Business BFF. You can also find me on Instagram, same handle. But bookkeeping is a vital system that we need to put into place for our businesses. And it is the nitty gritty versus the pretty and creative. So I know we love the energy of creating and sharing our knowledge and coaching and inspiring, but our businesses will not go anywhere if we don't understand the numbers inside of them. And they're not to be feared. They should be embraced. And actually, the numbers can be really fun because they do tell a great story when you're doing all the right things. So I would say with an effort as little as 10 minutes that we can provide a lot of clarity and insight into your business, the success of it, and possibly some of the failures. Knowing your business numbers creates you into an intelligent business owner. And with consistent and accurate bookkeeping, you can forecast your income, you can plan for your spending, you can ensure that you have a consistent paycheck coming home. You can grow your income because we want to always think of our personal wealth, the money piece of it, as you have your assets, you have your liabilities, and then you have your net, that subtract the two and you have your net worth. And the goal should always be to create a positive net worth. You want to have accurate tax reporting so that you don't give the government more money than they should have, and you don't want to owe the government in the end. So having an accurate tax reporting system will allow for you to keep as much money inside your business and at home as much as possible. A bookkeeping system also allows you to track the important metrics like sales revenue, net income, return on investments, and how much your business is growing over time. So most of us think, well, I'm not really making any money, or I'm just starting my business, but no business is too small to put the system in place. And I know, Shannon, you always want to encourage those systems that you talk about. The bookkeeping piece of it, the money side of it, is one of the first things that you're going to do so that you can fuel your business. So if you understand how much things cost and how much you need to bring in to continue to keep going, that's only the basics, the first pieces of it. So here are 4 steps to a great bookkeeping system, and we can go back into each step. You want to first and foremost separate your personal money from your business money. You have to open up your own business checking account. It's like the most basic thing that you should do. And this is, again, after you've determined what kind of business structure you are. If you're a sole prop or LLC, you're going to get your tax ID number so that you can provide that to the bank. And then you're going to open up a business checking account. And why do we want to separate our personal numbers from our business numbers? Well, it just makes it a whole lot simpler as time goes on. You only would have to look at one bank account, or if you used a credit card, one credit card solely used for business is going to help you quickly track all of those numbers. The second step is choosing your tracking method. So we all think that starting out, if we're savvy with Excel, that we could keep track with Excel pretty easily. And I would agree. If you don't have a lot of transactions and if you can use Excel pretty successfully, that would be a fine place to start. I'd suggest for a very small amount of cost per month, going to QuickBooks or Xero or Wave. I personally use QuickBooks. And for like $12 a month, it ties into your bank account. So automating the transactions is such a key piece to having a quick and easy and accurate bookkeeping system. And QuickBooks is not a challenge to learn. It is a very robust system, but you can really, if you have the understanding of money comes in, money goes out, and tracking in the appropriate categories, which we'll talk about next, it's the slam dunk system, and you can pull reports very quickly. And again, it should only take you like 10 minutes a week to process your transactions. I suggest looking at your bookkeeping system, or you doing this 10 minutes a week on Tuesdays, because it captures then all of the transactions that happened over the weekend. So if you tend to go and spend money at Staples or Home Depot or, whatever, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, whatever you use to build your services and products, then Tuesdays is a great day to just catch up on those transactions.
That's a good tip. I'm writing that one down.
And step 3, you want to set up your categories. And if you go and grab the BFF Blueprint download, it talks all about the different categories that you would want to include in your bookkeeping system, both income and expense accounts. And you want to tie the expense accounts to the general practice of what's tax deductible. Now, here's what I want to say about this. You do not want to make it a goal to spend all of your money. We do not want to have zero tax at the end of the year due. What we want to show is a profit, and we want to be responsible for paying what we owe on that income. And it's better to have income because that shows that your business is viable and growing than it is to show zero income and not have any tax liability. So don't be afraid of the tax liability. The key is to plan for it. And with my blueprint, the BFF blueprint, we talk a lot about this planning for your tax liability and putting a strategy and system in place to make that happen. So it's stress-free and you don't ever worry about the money not being there or being there when it comes to April 15th, which is always a day that I think we all dread. Step 4 is setting aside the bookkeeping time. So if you set aside bookkeeping time, it keeps it locked out. You can get in and out of the system very quickly. It should only take you, once you get going, 10 to 20 minutes a week. You want to choose a day and time that you spend on this each week, and it shouldn't take you very long. And for me, a great day to do the bookkeeping is on Tuesday. You got your CFO hat on, you got your day started, your week started on Monday, and your CFO hat goes on Tuesday, takes you 20 minutes, and it captures when you automate the system to bring everything in from your checking account into your system. It's all automated, and you just have to click off, yes, that happened, yes, that happened, yes, that happened. And with that done, you have a chance to put together a weekly scorecard. And the scorecard is where you're going to track the matrix of your business money. So it's a great way. There's also tips in my Instagram feed about the business scorecard. And it's a great way to track progress on your sales and other financial goals you might have inside your business. And you can translate that over to how it's coming into your family life as well.
Those are really great tips. And I'm a fan of anything in like small increments of time. So 10 minutes is like key in the world, especially as busy mompreneurs, because we don't have a lot of time really to do things, but we get those little pockets. So set a schedule. I love that because I'm all about time blocking to get things done anyway. So it's like, yes, 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 this is my kind of talk. So great. So any other quick tips you'd like to share with us today before we wrap up? You've given us a lot.
So to review, the 4 steps are: the first one, all your business activities should be separated from your personal financial activity. Number 2 is choosing a tracking method. I suggest QuickBooks. Number 3 is to set up your categories. And again, you can go to the free download and learn all about that. And number 4 is set aside bookkeeping time and automate it. So if you get all of those things in place, I think maybe the fear of numbers will slowly remove themselves from your life.
No, this is definitely a great place to start. No need for us to be afraid of the numbers. We need to embrace them because they actually give us more confidence, especially when we have our finger on the pulse of our bank account, literally.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So thank you for sharing these tips with us today, Stacey. So again, make sure you go grab that download. The link is going to be in the show notes. And then Stacey, tell us again where everyone can find you online.
So every day I'm giving a tip or two on Instagram, the Small Business BFF. You can also find my website with the same handle. And coming up in the next few weeks, we are going to start a group program, and I'm looking for 4 or 5 more people to join the group program that will be going through the BFF blueprint. And this is the inaugural group. So this bestie circle will receive all kinds of benefits and discounts of products and services going forward as well. And I'm very interested in, just bringing women along this journey in the next year. Think about where you could be. You could be a lot more confident in your numbers. You could have a lot more money coming home for your family, and you could have a business that's self-sustaining and you're not having to put stuff on credit cards or take out a loan or do anything else to leverage your business in a negative way. So I just encourage everybody to do the work and not be afraid of the numbers, and come check me out and let's start a conversation so that I can help you.
Yes, that is awesome. So again, you'll be able to connect with Stacey and follow her on Instagram, because she does share some really good tips to help you to take care of all this bookkeeping stuff. Because again, while it's not fun, it's necessary. And you know, my coin phrase is sexy systems. You can be even more sexy when you know you got money to do those things that make you feel sexy.
Well, thank you for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed my chat with Stacey and are ready to conquer your fear of numbers and get your bookkeeping system in place. If you would like to connect with Stacey on Instagram to get more money management tips, the link to her profile is in the show notes. There is also a link to Stacey's download, BFF Bookkeeping Basics, in the show notes. It outlines the 4 steps that she shared in today's chat, as well as a tax-deductible account list and an explanation of the expense and income categories you need to set up in your bookkeeping system. Now, if you enjoyed today's show, please let me know. Take a screenshot, post it in Instagram stories, and tag me at @the_Shannon Baker. And remember, you are more than enough. So until next time, keep calm and streamline.